And just like that, welcome back to the Sloppy Syndicate Show. We have a kick-ass band backstage. They formed in 2017 in the depths of despair. They are based out of Tampa, Florida, which was news to me today, which is super cool. Local band to myself here in Orlando. Without further ado,
let's get ready to rumble!
Thank you for the introduction there. We are going to play a small clip, 30-second clip to make your ear holes moist, to pleasure your ear holes, and give you a little taste of this band. That's a fucking banger right there. So again, we are streaming live on Twitch and YouTube. And for the folks listening to us in the future, it is much appreciated. Thank you for listening to the podcast. Without further ado, let's bring in the rock stars from Gloomchild. How are we doing? So I learned a ton of new information today from Tampa, which I didn't know. So my bad, folks. But that's pretty cool, just to hop, skip, and a jump down the way. And you guys actually have a show tomorrow at one of the go ahead and tell them what one of the markets, 4 to 7. So if I can make it, I'm going to go check you guys out, because you guys are a kick-ass band, killer band. Have had some huge success lately. But before I get ahead of myself, go ahead and introduce yourself, what you play, and we'll go from there.
I'm Justin, I sing.
I'm Joey, I play guitar.
I'm Sherry, I play the drums.
I'm Tom, I also play guitar.
And I'm Cody, and I play bass.
Okay, so Cody's the slap of the bass man. So,
Yes.
all right.
Yes.
It's very cool, Sherry, that you play drums and you are in a band. There's not a whole lot of, I mean, there's several female-fronted bands, but there's not too many female drummers. So that's super cool in itself right there. So props to you on that. And how would you guys describe your music, what you sound like? Or that's so broad, but you're kind of metalcore. You got so many different riffs, and I know there for a while you guys it took you guys about 3 years to really dial in your tunes, your vibes, as you had some ins and outs with some members, things like that. So describe to the listeners out there that have not heard of Gloomchild, what could we expect?
I feel like if you listen to the latest single, that song is a song that we, I think generally the band kind of agrees that it represents our style really well, maybe better than a lot of other songs that we've put out in the past. It's got heavy riffs, it has violins and strings and 70s, 80s style synthesizing stuff, and cool drumming, and screaming and singing. So a little bit of everything.
Yeah, and I love it. Like you said, you explained it perfectly well. You got some clean vocals. You have the screaming. Well, not the screaming, but the growling, the screaming, things like that. So it's kind of, man, you guys are going to go places. And speaking of that, your last song, or your most recent song, was Underpass, the deluxe version. That's been hugely popular. That's gotten over 5,000 screens, 5,000 streams since it's been released at the end of April. So within a month, you've gotten over 5,000 plays, roughly 1,900 new listeners. So that song has done you guys justice. So tell us a little bit how that feels. That's a huge deal. So
yeah,
fantastic.
Yeah,
Amazing.
I love it. I'm so thankful for everyone out there who's streaming our song and keep watching the YouTube video and everything, because it was a lot of hard work that really feels like it's was that hard work. You got the same results out of it. You put in what you get out, and we really worked our ass off to make that happen. So
yeah, that music video, we filmed it in my garage. Tom has some nice cameras, and Joey and they both work with cameras more than the rest of us, so kind of made them, the directors, and they killed it. And Joey's also really great at editing video, and I'm learning to chop things up too. So it was a long process to get that done compared to just having someone film your video, and because we also record all the stuff in house too. So I had to like mix it and all this stuff, all this shit. But it was so much hard work, and it feels like it's paid off really well, and it feels really good. It's super gratifying, and for me.
And there's so much work behind the scenes that us as a listener don't know or don't really appreciate or understand. Like you explained, the videos and everything else that you guys have to do. You do it in house, so not only are you creating the music, you are making the videos, etc. So we got your take on it, Cody, Tom, Sherry, Joey. How you feeling? So I just pulled it up, and you are almost at 3,000 listeners just on Spotify alone. So
Hell yeah.
That feels amazing. Before we released Underpass, actually a month ago, we were at 150 something. So that's
a huge. Yep, there you
go.
I remember when we released our first, well, not first, but we released the single Solemn. And that was a single that we released with all of us in the lineup, and it felt so good to see. I remember 71 monthly listeners, and now that has climbed a lot since then. It just feels so good.
And if you're anything like me, I'm watching the numbers consistently, like it's trickling. Like I'm like, come on, hurry up. You get that those number anxiety, like just hurry up, like hit that number, dang it. So I don't know how you feel, but you were super close.
I'm definitely like that, like exactly like I keep watching. Yeah, got it.
There's a really there's a really odd balance between like, because you work so long to get to this point where people actually start listening to you, and then it's almost like this imposter syndrome where you're like, oh man, is this really happening? Do we really did we work for this? But then like years of hard work every day go by, and you're like, okay, you got it. It's like this weird back and forth pull.
Yeah, that's true.
And Cody, the bass player, the man of many words, how do you feel?
Yeah, really good. I basically took the helm for like the marketing for that single, and I had like a very specific goal that I wanted to hit, and like I wanted to get 1,000 streams in the first week, and it was like the last day, and it was like on trajectory, and I was just like, it worked. Like everything that like I put a bunch of time researching like people to reach out to, people to like submit the song to, just to like have them share it or put it on their like playlist or just talk about it, make a post, etc. And yeah, it was very gratifying that all the time that we took to research all this stuff actually like paid off. So
yeah, and
I will say Cody's a genius
great
when it
job
comes
with
to that. Cody is a genius.
thank you.
this is all for you, Cody. But yeah, the algorithm, don't get me started on the algorithm. If
trying
you've
to
messed
cheat it
please let me
somehow.
know, because the algorithm really pisses me off.
Yeah, I wouldn't claim to do that, but definitely trying to work it in our favor as best I can.
Yeah, the algorithm is something else. So
I'd like to piss on the algorithm.
right. That's how I feel about it. And I just like, even on TikTok, one video I'll get X amount of views, and the next one I get 2. I'm like, how the hell does this work?
TikTok really pissed me off. I have a story about TikTok. So I made like a new account because I have like, whenever I'm like bored and sad, I make like hip hop beats. And I made I made like a whole TikTok for it. And like the first video, I'm like, let me make a beat from scratch on Ableton. I did like a live loop thing, put it on. Not more than 2 minutes later did the audio get muted because of a fucking copyright strike. Like, tell me how that song did not exist until the video, but the song like, what the fuck? So I just I rage quit TikTok. I'm like, fuck this. I deleted my account. I haven't looked back.
They're like, screw you, Tom.
So,
Fuck Tom.
they're like, yeah, fuck you, Tom.
Some
You
guy
fucking ponytail.
Yeah, so I don't get it, but you guys are rocking it out. So prior to the newest release that we just spoke about, you guys were in something pretty prestigious with the Space Zebra show. And mind you, Josh Balls, one of the owners of Parlor Root Beer, I really hate you right now because I'm addicted to the birch beer and I cannot stop drinking it. I'm probably going to get diabetes because I've drank like 23 already. But anyway, thank you, Josh, for hooking me up with some root beer. But
that's awesome.
Shout out to root beer.
Here's the
Big
balls,
fans of
man.
Josh Balls. Actually, we love
Absolutely.
Motionless in White, and we used to love everything he did.
Yeah, I used to be obsessed with, I used to play a synth in the first band I was ever in with this guy. And, that was old, like 10, 12 years ago. But I used to want to be like Josh Balls, rock it out just like that on the synth. So
I was living the root beer dream. So, and it got me addicted to it. So, yes, there we are. But yeah, so you guys, Bobby, Josh Bowles, and producer Jake, you guys, they do a show that's called The Space Zebra on DW Presents, where they have battle for the big stage and they have unsigned charts. So Gloomchild actually made it to the Elite Eight, one of the brackets several months ago. So how stressful is that? Because me as I watch it, I'm not even in a band, and when I watch it, I'm like, man, this is so tough. This is like I need a Xanax just watching the damn show.
I feel that. Yeah.
We're definitely slamming Jameson and stuff.
Watching in absolute.
We're having fun, honestly. Like we're just making the most fun of it as we can, because really we can't control what everyone else thinks of our music, but we know, we're lucky to have been in that contest, and we know that we've been working for it, and to get those reactions from everyone in that crew, those are people we look up to. So it meant a lot, like, to be in that contest for real. So
don't forget, another bracket is starting this month. You have a new song that was just released at the end of April. So
very nice.
So that's the thing.
you should submit it.
Well, we this isn't turning me off from anything, but we submitted Underpass for, what was it, their Uncharted music review, and we actually didn't make it. We bombed. Yeah, they didn't like it. I don't know what was with the chat that day, but they didn't like it. But on the contrary, before the song started, all the Josh and Bobby, they were like, we love this band. This is one of the best bands that we play on the show. So just hearing that, I'm like, that meant a lot at first before they even played the song. And then when the fans voted, like, at that point, it didn't mean anything to me, because I'm like, dude, they just said we're one of the best bands they play on the show. So like, that means a lot already right there. I'm salute to the DWP crew.
Very grateful.
Yeah, absolutely. That was super fun. I'm really thankful for that experience.
Yeah, some of the days us folks in the chats are a little cranky. So I mean, I get it. I get it. So
everyone is human. We can't blame like everyone, for being, what they like, and we just do our best making the music we can, and we do like our best to give it to you the right way, direct and right
wide in your face.
Like you either like Gloomchild or you're just wrong. That's all there is to it, folks.
It's okay to be wrong sometimes.
I didn't say it, man. I appreciate you saying that, but
hey, I'll take the blame, folks. White Trash Donnie said it, so
that means a lot.
Hey, we're drinking whiskey, okay?
Oh, you're drinking whiskey. This might get a little rowdy. So,
what are you drinking, Donnie?
I'm drinking. I got three things. So I'm chugging a Parlor root beer or birch beer, which I'm almost done with. I got a Liquid Death, and then when I was up at the farm in Virginia, I ran into this small little microbrewery called Damascus Brewing, and it's literally right on the Appalachian Trail. So the hikers will come in, have a beer or two, kind of relax, and it's called Beaver Rage. It's an IPA, so super
How
good.
Is it? Super good.
I'm not an IPA guy, and there's only several IPAs that I can actually handle, and that is one.
He's gonna fight you.
Nice.
No.
Sherry's IPA all day.
IPA all day.
Yeah.
The Seventh Sun Brewery, they have a beer called the Headbanger IPA.
Headbanger.
Okay.
Hop.
Seventh Sun in Tampa.
There's so Cigar City, which I believe they just sold to so I don't know if it was they sold. I think they sold out or something. But their Highlight was like one of the three that I actually liked. So
Yeah.
not from Cigar City, but
Woo!
just
I
IPAs in
love-
general. So
I love the
A
highlight.
good highlight.
That's super like Tampa bands from Tampa, like hipster bands. We all drink Highlight, you know.
And Topo Chicos. Don't forget the Topo Chicos.
Topo Chicos too, yeah. Topo Chicos.
I had a tall boy highlight today. I did.
oh, nice. Okay.
Yep.
Proud of you,
So
Sherry.
speaking of that, yeah, for breakfast.
And then
Dude,
the other
yeah.
IPA.
I'm
was,
just kidding.
I mean, hey,
Gotta put
Nobody
that out there.
specified AM or PM as far as it's 5 o'clock somewhere. So
Right.
as far as I'm concerned,
It's
we're
5
like,
o'clock.
So it
whatever you
could
want
have
it to
been
be.
for breakfast.
You
But,
shotgun an IPA like it's 6:30 a.m. That's the only way. I mean, the sun just gets more colorful.
You have an IPA in your cereal. Skip the milk.
Absolutely.
That sounds like just
Yeah.
Yo, okay. Speaking of that though, Joey had peanut butter whiskey like 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
I gotta bring this up because
shout out to my mom.
Good.
Shout out to my mom who might be watching who didn't like it, so she gave it to me.
Okay, but he
For my
mixed it
birthday.
with root beer,
That was a
and it tasted just like an ice cream float. Like if you put
Nice.
vanilla ice cream in there, it would be delicious.
Have like a
It already
Super
is,
Bowl
but-
float.
Yes.
Yeah, that was for
Yes.
Justin. We were all hanging out for Justin's birthday the other day. He just turned
His
27.
mom gave
Oh,
us some.
wait. 27, the big 27. Happy belated birthday. So
Don't buy white lighters and don't keep them in your pocket.
Yeah, I don't do that shit anymore, man. I'm past that.
Cool.
Past that.
All right.
But yeah,
good
that
stuff.
peanut butter whiskey was gnarly.
I'm a fan.
It was gnarly.
I don't know. Maybe that's nasty, but it's
yeah, I'm not
all
a big liquor fan. I can drink beer quite most of the day, but once I start drinking liquor, I'm like a 3-hitter quitter. I'm done. So
Yeah,
I'm sleeping in the
for
corner.
real.
It's,
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's definitely the way to
it's
go.
fair enough. So
So as far as the band goes, Gloomchild, you guys have 3 albums out, and then 1 EP. So 2019, No Love, Volume 1, 2020, Volume 2, Grim, and 2021, The Golden Years. So I'm just going to go, all the songs are phenomenal, but some of my favorite songs on there, I'm probably going to butcher this name, Devour?
Devereaux, that's
Devereaux.
Devereaux.
Hooked on Phonics didn't work for me, so I apologize. And, so Heart Room, Underpass, Bleed in the Snow, and then we go all the way up to 2021 and the Golden Years. And I cast these stones myself, and Don't Look Down. So those are some of my favorites from those records or those albums. And then you have some singles in 2022, Rune, and then SLMN. So what does SLMN stand for?
It's a secret acronym that we're gonna keep secret.
Fair
but
enough.
Yeah, it's just because it's like cheesy.
honestly, I'm gonna tell you straight up, I don't even know it, but it's I know the song is
fuck?
pronounced solemn. Though.
That's how we pronounce.
That's how you say that. It's solemn. So
Solemn. Okay.
All right. No, this is what it means. Sloppy lasagna means networking.
Said it.
no,
Yeah.
I know it doesn't mean that.
It does. It does.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You got to listen between the lines. Like if you listen to it backwards, that's when you get the real message.
Between the words.
Oh my gosh.
Well, you heard it here, folks.
Yeah.
Right there. Tom just told us what it meant. So
You know, you gotta. Sometimes you just gotta listen a little deeper. It's all
Yo,
the secrets are just like right
Tom
under
is
your
a shredder. Like Tom inspires me on guitar. I'll tell you that straight up. When we're practicing and Tom is shredding, I'm like, damn, I need to step up my shred game.
But you have, and you actually sound amazing. You never didn't sound amazing, but like I can see that you're putting in work and you're getting better each time I hear you play. You're doing awesome, bro.
that's an all moment. Like, oh,
That was
Yeah.
very wholesome.
that was wholesome. Like that was loving.
Yeah.
That's all it is, man.
Joey, pat yourself on the back, Joey.
Yeah.
Everyone
Respect,
is ridiculously good
Thank
at
you
their
guys. Thank
instrument.
you.
And I'm like playing drums, but I feel like I'm on autopilot sometimes because I can't believe what is happening.
Yeah.
Around me.
hey.
Yo, is it me
It's
or did
true.
our focus turn into like we're in heaven right now?
Yeah,
I don't
because
know.
we're all being very
You
wholesome.
brighten the mood, man.
You're heading to the pearly
talented the
gates.
other one is.
Yeah.
We actually all just died.
Or hell,
Yeah.
one of the two. I don't know where you're going, but you're going one place or the
To
other.
answer your question, it's just an acronym for a secret.
And
That's all.
Donnie,
Secrets
man,
don't make friends. Just so
I
you
want
know.
to just thank you, first
What
of
does that
all,
sound
for actually digging into our discography and obviously for having us on the show. But I mean, for actually listening to our music and checking us out, man, that means a lot. And we have a lot of music that people don't know about because we keep releasing new stuff. So, you know, man, thank you, for letting the people know about our old stuff. So,
I mean, all of it is phenomenal, and you know, and you even put it in your in the bio. You guys have switched a lot of band members over the years, but at the same time, the sound has remained pretty consistent. It doesn't vary too much, or like sometimes you'll get a new band member and it totally sounds like polar opposite. So, you guys did a great job keeping the same kind of music all the way through, even though you've lost some members and gained some new members. And man, you guys have big things in the works. You guys are going in the right direction. So just keep killing it. I mean,
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're really
Appreciate that.
this version of Gloom with these members is definitely the most fun I've ever had making music with anybody ever. So
I second that. I'll say it again.
Yeah.
Everybody is
We're
so
like best,
good at
we're
their
like super
instrument.
sappy.
It's
you
just so nice.
We love you guys. Text me when you get home. Everybody's like, text me when you get home.
Bro, last night Joey made us all like vegan hot dogs, and it was delicious after practice. It's like, yo, let me just whip up these dogs.
Like
for
chili
you guys, 'cause
cheese.
you're my
dog.
dog.
They were fire.
Yeah.
They were very good.
So who is like the mom of the group? Because we all have one in our circle of people. Who is the one that's no more beer, calm down? We all have one of those in the group. So who is that?
I don't think we have anybody that will say no more beer. I'll tell you that straight up. But I think we might have some people, like I might be the mom in some certain way. I think we all have our own momish qualities. We all have that stuff. We all look out for each other in our own ways. Like we all know those. We're kind of close and getting closer and learning the things about each other that we got to look out for each other as friends and bandmates. And we want to make this our full-time thing and all ride with each other like real unit. So we gotta be tight, and I think we all have each other's backs. And I mean, I think you guys can all agree on that.
Yeah,
Definitely.
100%.
But sorry.
Well, no, who's the? I mean,
Who's the mom?
I mean,
I want to
Who's the
know.
mom?
I
Yeah.
want to know too.
I don't want to take on that
Justin really,
responsibility.
split the pants in the family. Like Joey's like the provider, and Justin's like the organizer. Like Justin keeps us on track, and Joey's like always the first one to make sure that we have what we need.
Like, Tom, you're being a douchebag. Quit it.
I'm dick, mate. I don't know why I turned Australian to belittle myself, but
I feel like
Hey,
we're
you gotta-
pretty, Tom's playing the SpongeBob theme song on guitar every chance he gets.
that's what I provide.
Nobody's
That is my
telling him to
motherly
like stop,
quality.
like let him do it. I don't think there's any moms. We drink a lot of beer and we like to listen to music loudly and shit, and do other things. Toke on things, maybe some of us sometimes. So we have fun. There's no mom.
It's a medicinal state, It's
Right.
legal.
We don't judge you here.
Just
We
don't-
do not judge at the Sloppy Syndicate show. We are sloppy for a reason. So, yeah. So, you guys, the current version of the band, how long have you guys been together?
Year?
Really bad with time.
Since last year.
Last year? Okay.
We
Like
got
December or
together.
January. I guess?
2020, I think.
Okay.
Well, we got together last year, but me, Tom, and Sherry
Sort
were
of,
on
yeah.
Zoom for a long time during the start of the pandemic, like plotting what we were gonna do, and it kind of just took a long time for things to settle down enough with COVID and the vaccine to come out and stuff for everybody to feel comfortable enough to start meeting up and trying to pull it off. So
I'm glad it's back. Glad music is back. Live music is
Yeah.
back.
Oh, absolutely. I
Agreed.
mean,
This show tomorrow is going to be only our second show in 2 years.
Okay, nice.
besides
Wow.
it's our second public, or we had a little private performance that was at a recording studio in
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Clearwater.
Largo, yeah.
That was
Or in
awesome.
Largo, yeah. It was called
Dupre Studio Recordings.
Yeah.
Dupree
Over
Studio
there.
Recording. Shout out to them. They
was cool.
filmed us, and we recorded that set in their studio, like film and audio. So it was cool.
It was
Nice,
really fun,
nice.
yeah.
We have that live on YouTube on our channel.
I think
So
we
for
also
the
got
folks listening,
interviewed-
But
Sorry.
so for the folks listening to the podcast in the future, where can we find that at? Where can we find you guys?
You can find that specific video at the Dupree Studio Recordings on YouTube.
Oh yeah, my bad.
If you just search Gloomchild Live, we don't have that many live videos, so it'll pop up pretty soon.
But you can find our music like on Spotify, YouTube,
everywhere. Yeah,
Apple Music.
Apple Music,
Everywhere.
Tidal.
Yeah, title.
If anybody, I don't
Hey,
know.
shout out to Jay-Z. I love Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Let's get on a playlist on Tidal.
Yeah.
You can also find them on IG at Gloomchild. So make
Yes.
sure you go like it, support it, give them a follow, tell them you love them, tell them if you think they suck, tell them, give them any kind of feedback you want. But if you tell them you suck, you might get punched in the mouth. I don't know. Just
Tell us if you're neutral.
No,
We're not gonna punch you in the mouth.
none of us will do that
Someone
because
might.
we
Tom
love-
is ready. Look at Tom. Tom is like, yeah, I'll punch you in the mouth.
Tom. I mean, Tom might give him
Yeah.
a weird face or something, but
I couldn't land a
Terrible
punch
way.
if I wanted to. Just like emotions out of this, my coordination is terrible outside of music. I could like just swing and not even get close to you. And like, look at look at this. This is a toothpick. There's no way this is doing any damage.
Got some muscle
Tom,
in
you
there,
were
bro.
actually, I don't know if you were trying to flex on us right now
Yeah,
or
you
what.
got-
but
No,
You're
this is
looking
nothing.
pretty buff right now, man. Not
Hey.
gonna lie.
That's the shadow. I have a softbox right here. There's absolutely nothing happening here.
That's all them scales,
I
right?
gonna
can
get-
drink cheese
we're gonna
on
get
my
kicked
shoulder
off
blades,
now.
bro. It's not okay.
I'm gonna get banned because you were showing some guns
Too
there.
much
So.
skin.
this is like a
Bro,
Nerf gun
come
at
on.
best.
Tom,
You'll
man.
never convince them.
You never. No, I hate myself.
Just know that we think you're shredded. So
Thanks. I think you're. I think all of you guys are shredded.
Master Shredder.
yeah, that too.
Shredded wheat, bro.
So within the band, what has been your favorite song to play, to write, to make?
Ooh.
All right, I guess we should all go for like one by one.
Sherry, go first. She
Oh,
was ready.
no.
To
Too
make,
I thought you meant you were
Wait,
ready.
wait.
I was like, this
to
is
make
hard.
though, to make, I'm gonna tell you there are songs that haven't come out yet that were really fun to make.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
our brand
Yeah.
new music. I think we're all really stoked about. We haven't announced it yet, but yeah, go Cody.
Well, I mean, I was gonna agree. I was gonna say, it's also not out. So,
Yeah, we.
I
So-
had a lot of fun with
If I'm-
Underpass.
I'm allowed to. Yeah, but besides that, I would say, yeah, Underpass was the most
I
recent
love
one. Just
playing Underpass.
Underpass, yeah.
It's all the good notes. Just I get to beat the crap out of the China at the very end. That's all I wanted.
Hell yeah.
And I got to film that, which was super fun because like I just started like really diving into like photography and stuff, and it was cool to like actually have something real to film that wasn't me just like filming like flowers in my backyard or something.
you would have fooled me with that. You had that camera like on the,
You
getting
gotta
all the
step
angles,
into the
getting all
role.
that.
Yeah.
That was just such a fun day.
Yo, Tom, honestly, you were going really hard with that. And,
Yeah.
and
You
when
got
you
it.
when you had to play, I had to film your part, and that was what was interesting because it's like, all right, Tom just filmed all of our parts. Now what? Okay, I guess everyone looks at me, Joey, you film it. Like,
Really
all right,
nice.
guys,
Table
I'll
hand.
I'll try to keep because Tom, it was like, how am I gonna follow that? Because he just filmed all of us and he was going so hard. I'm like, oh shoot, I hope I film him as good as he filmed us.
Right.
And
I just kind of walked in a circle and like twisted the knob. It definitely was not as complicated in my brain as it might have looked. But I was just like, God, I really hope this doesn't look like balls on a bigger screen.
So
It came out amazing.
So, without giving too much information away, when can we expect the new single or singles to drop?
Let's
About
give
a
it
month.
away.
Yeah, let's give it away.
Yeah, let's give it
Let's
away.
do
All
it.
right.
Next single.
We're gonna
Yeah.
be. We have a brand new album that is already done, mastered. Should we? Let's just give it away.
Let's
right?
give it away. Let's just do it.
Don't
Yeah.
give it all away. Don't give it all away. I don't want to ruin anything. But
That's the tip.
Well, I mean,
man.
no, I mean, I don't
You're
know.
not ruining.
We're just
anything.
excited because we worked with this mastering engineer called Mike Tucci,
okay.
and he is really awesome and really nice and really good and Grammy nominated dude.
Excellent
he really
hair.
fucked with our music. Excellent hair, yeah, fantastic hair. And it was the first time that we've gone outside of our self-production realm and had someone really take care of the master professionally, and so it sounds huge.
It's
And,
nuts. It's
yeah.
like it like rattles my Kia soul. It's insane.
Yeah.
No, definitely get
So-
ready for the boom
So,
because
yeah, we'll
it's
be-
booming.
When are we gonna? We're gonna be announcing it.
June. Well, I don't know announcement, but
Well, the album. I don't know when we announce the album, but we're gonna have another single.
the single, yeah, the lead single for
I
it.
We're
think
gonna
the
have
end
another-
of June.
Yeah, the end of June
And
we'll
then,
have a single with a music video release, and then
We're gonna keep slamming you with singles all summer.
Mhm.
So
and then at the end of the summer you might get something that you were expecting, like an album.
So, there you go. So without giving too much away, folks, you heard it here first. Look forward to the next single towards the end of June, which is not too far away. We are almost in June now. So a little over 30 days, and you can hear some fresh music. Until then, go back, check out their old music. That's what a lot of folks lack, like we spoke about earlier. Not a lot of people go back to the beginning and listen to all the songs. And me, I'm a big music junkie. I love all genres. So I literally, if I could get paid to listen to music, I mean, I'd be a millionaire, but they don't pay you to listen to music. So, it is what it is. But I always enjoy kind of seeing how the band progresses through the years or through the albums and the singles. And that's something I kind of recognized with the band is you guys, like I said earlier, you were consistent and you maintained the same sort of sound regardless of who was in the band at the time. So,
Well, I would say that's due to Justin being the originator of the entire project. And
The
he's
guy.
the guy who he wrote those first 2 or 3 or 4 projects. Like, he wrote all the music up until what we're releasing now with our last 2 singles, where we all came together as a band and started really each, he wanted that for all of us. He didn't want to just be writing all the music by himself, even though he is amazing at it and we all love that music. But that's why we're in the band, because we believe in this, believe in his vision, and we all rock with it, and we're all great friends now. So we're all rocking with how we all feel. The music is just coming together naturally. Like, we all already loved his music. So it's like how you were saying about or actually, I don't know if you were saying this, but we were watching some interviews from your channel, throughout the past month and stuff. And one of the interviews I was watching, the guy was saying he joined a band that was one of his favorite bands in the local scene already. So that's kind of how I feel, because I grew up playing in bands with Justin since I was in middle school and high school. And then I had moved away for a long period of time. So when I moved back and he had already had this music going, my first thing was when I hit him up, it's we were going to reconnect as friends and everything, but we weren't really disconnected, but I had lived far away. So when I reconnected with him and got to play in this band, it's a true blessing to be able to play the music that I love and be able to write the music that I love, because when we're all writing music, none of us are stopping each other. I see a lot of bands that always have conflicting ideas, and that could actually break up some bands. But we actually rock with each other's ideas and are willing to flow with the creativity of each other and respect each other's creative visions. So that's one of the things that is so cool to me about being in a band. I mean, with my best friends, you know.
Yeah, and like you said, not a lot of bands kind of mash as well as you guys seem to. So it's always good when a band, everybody's, encompasses the same thing, whether you like that song or not. But you guys bring each one of you bring a certain talent and a certain style, and you guys can kind of mash that together and make it work. So so that's something unique. Like you said, a lot of bands have split up, a lot of bands have separated or took a hiatus just because things of that nature. So so tell the fans, where does the name Gloomchild come from?
Oh man. Well, I'd said this before, so I guess I gotta tell it every time. I guess it's not that bad. I was like gonna record a friend of mine who had never done music before, and she wanted to make some music. We never actually did, but she needed a moniker, and I told her I would try to come up with some ideas, and I was kind of trying to describe her. And then I told one of my close friends about it, and I was like, "This name is sick, right?" And he's like, "Yeah, bro, is that your new band's name?" I was like already writing the first record at that point. I didn't have a name for it, and I was like, "No, this is for someone else." And then we decided that I should not tell her about it, and I'll keep it. And so that's what I did, because I don't know, it describes me too. We're like emo, basically.
Okay.
So
And we all. I'm pretty
there's
sure
no
we're
like,
emo.
yeah, it's not like super thought out or anything. I guess it's just kind of like it sounds cool, but it kind of slowly started to really feel comfortable with me putting out music under this moniker, and so I just went with it, and now it's a whole, I think we all feel a certain kind of, I don't know, it's a vibe when you're in gloom, when you say it, almost, I feel like, not to sound crazy, but I don't
Sorry,
know.
Justin, too late. No, I'm just
Yeah. It's not fucking batshit crazy.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I don't know. It's something that kind of just stuck, and I didn't ever think we'd be doing anything like this on the, trying to get into marketing and push ourselves to really be like a touring national act and stuff. So luckily it's aged well, I think. So
it's like a fine bourbon. So
for me, yeah.
it's always it's always cool just to see the story, or how names do come about. So
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many cool stories, and just how you come up with names.
We're super proud of the name for sure, I think.
That name is so sick. I remember so I didn't actually know Justin when I learned about Gloomchild. I actually found Gloomchild on like a sponsored Instagram post when No Love dropped, and I'm just like, holy fuck, like this is crazy. It was like a lot of times, like, and I was at a stage in my life where I really did not have a lot of like strong, I was in like an emotionally weird state, so like I didn't react like a lot to things, but that really took my attention. And then like I clicked on the ad and I realized he's in Tampa, and I'm like, holy shit. So I don't even quite know how we ended up. I think Sherry and I were actually in another band around that time. It was
We were in a band together, and then Tom sent this to me, and I was just like, "You're telling me this guy is in Tampa? He lives in our city, and he sounds."
Yeah, I was blown away.
I was going to the Guitar Center that you work at the whole time. It's so crazy.
And then one day, I don't remember, I was like, I came out of a lesson and I think I saw you getting strings, and then like, yo,
Yeah.
Justin. And then like, so later we got to like talking and stuff, and then
Scared the
we
shit out
found
of me.
out.
Honestly, hearing
You
about
scared
this
the shit out of me.
interaction, like knowing Justin better, is actually really funny.
It's hilarious. He came up right behind me, and he's
He's gonna be like blown away.
yeah, he's like 7 feet tall. And I'm just like, what the fuck, bro?
I'm a large man. But there's and then like I found out we had a lot of the same friends like growing up. Like he knew like one of my childhood best friends really well because I went to high school together, and like he knew a lot of my neighbors and regularly hung out in my neighborhood, and I just like didn't. We had our paths just hadn't crossed, and we were just like existing next to each other for our whole childhoods. And I think it's just really wild how it all just like came together at like just the right time.
So it was like what did Big Daddy say? It goes together like a spaghetti and a tuna fish.
Hell yeah, bro. Spaghetti and tuna fish.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Put some
exactly
mayonnaise
like
on that base product, bro. Get that protein.
I could have said it better myself. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your musical influences. How did you get involved in music? Was it a family member or a song, a certain band? What pushed you to produce music and become a musician?
Who wants to go first, Sherry? We got to come up with an order to do this.
I don't
Justin,
know.
you start.
Oh no. Okay.
Uh,
My dad had a home studio in the 90s when I was born in 95 in New York, and he had like a home studio in the basement, and so I just grew up like literally walking around all this stuff all the time and always looking at it and always looked so cool. And my dad was like making all these songs in the basement, and so they got me a keyboard when I was 4, and then I played the one joint. Everything I do it for you. That song.
That's metal.
I played it well because like it would show you how to play it, and so I just played it, and then like my mom came in and saw me doing it, and she freaked out, and then
Is it
maybe
like Bryan Adams or something?
Yeah. It is Bryan Adams. Yeah, I love
Hell
that.
yeah.
And she had a party and made me play in front of everybody,
Oh.
and then
wow.
and then I have not been able to stop making music ever since. So, and yeah, I like Avenged Sevenfold, Killswitch Engage is my favorite band. Adam D, he's the best producer ever, and Joey Sturgis, that's all my stuff.
All right, Joey.
All right. So I started playing piano when I was like pretty young, 4 or 5 years old. And I used to like to play like whatever my older sister would teach me. I'm the youngest of 9 in a blended family. So I have like stepbrothers and stepsisters. And my sister would teach me how to play piano when I was a kid. And I always was pretty rhythmic. But when my stepbrother, he brought a guitar home because his mom knew how to play guitar and gave him a guitar. He brought a guitar and taught me how to play like the intro of BYOB by System of a Down. And he taught me how to play like White Stripes, Seven Nation Army and stuff like that. I think they're just those 2 little riffs. They were super critical in me getting inspired to learn how to play guitar, because I just would always, after that, it wasn't my guitar, but I was always ask my dad, I was like, yo, can I get a guitar? Can I get a guitar? And then one year for Christmas, a few years later, I got a guitar and just kept playing guitar. When I was in middle school and I met Justin, it was because we have a mutual friend who I would skate with, and he introduced me to Justin because he said Justin was looking for a keyboard player. And I said, yeah, like, fuck it, I'll play keyboards. Because even though guitar was like what I really liked, I knew how to play piano from when I was younger. My sister taught me. And so I hopped on the keyboards, and from there, I really just started taking music really seriously. We used to practice like every day, play shows every weekend when we were really young. So it was kind of like a crash course in how to be in a band, basically. Like we used to play at like every week. I'd have to try to convince my parents that like, okay, like at the dinner dinner at night, I'll be like, all right, so this weekend I'm playing at the Pegasus Lounge or the Neptune's Lounge. They're like, you do what? No, you're not allowed to do that. I'm like, this is what I do. Like I'm in like middle school telling my parents, I'm doing this no matter what. You can't stop me. So basically stuff like that. And then just keeping on playing music until now. So that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, I can shred the piano. Mary Had a Little Lamb. Damn, I can. That's about all I can play on the piano. And Guitar Hero, pro, but a real guitar, I'm not.
Guitar
So,
Hero
Sherry, how'd you get
hard.
started?
I suck at Guitar Hero. I hate
But
that shit.
I love a lot of heavy bands like, So Suicide Silence was one of the first heavy bands that I started listening to, and like The Devil Wears Prada. Under Oath was actually like my favorite band. Like I actually grew up and lived in the same like community as the guitar player Tim and the bass player Grant. Like
Oh,
when they
super
both.
cool.
And so when I was a kid, I used to actually go over, knock on their door, be like, "Yo, I want to show you guys my band's demo," and they would like listen and be like, "Oh, like we were just." It's like they were just like being cool, like they were super nice people, and they just thought it was cool or whatever. And that was something that was really inspired me is Under Oath, like growing up. So that's one of my favorite bands for sure.
All right, Cherry.
It's my turn. I feel like there's a lot that went into it. In my family, it's like really my immediate family. It's really just me who's a musician. I also have an uncle who's a musician. And so when I was about like 7, I remember getting a guitar for Christmas, I think. And I mean, I was that age, so I didn't really take it super seriously at the time. But then at age 10, I got an electric guitar for Christmas. And to this day, like I still remember the day. And it was like I got an electric guitar and No Doubt's Greatest Hits album. And I listened to it on my Walkman and just strummed, even though it probably sounded horrible. I was just like, I have no idea what's going on or what I'm doing, but I'm having a great time. And then
You got into your punk phase.
Yeah, I did. And so I listened to like a lot of like No Doubt and Nirvana in like 4th and 5th grade. I was like 10, 11 years old. I have older siblings, especially my older sister. She had like a whole stack of CDs, and I would just like take them and listen to them. I taught myself a little guitar. I learned all the notes on the piano by myself, and then I started becoming classically trained in 6th grade, and that's when I started playing the drums. And I did percussion actually in school all the way up until I graduated. And I ended up majoring in music in college, in music ed.
Oh, very
So
cool. Okay.
yeah, so I'm a music teacher now as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cody?
Oh, well, skip Tom.
We're saving Tom for last.
It'll be a good story, I bet.
It'll be really good.
Already underselling yourself, Cody.
No, mine's all right. But I was never really the person to play music growing up, I guess. I listened to a lot of music that like my dad would give me, like Aerosmith, Metallica, Iron Maiden, like the classic, heavy metal stuff. But I didn't play anything until I was in actually, that's not true, because I played in the drum corps in elementary school, but I don't play drums now. I started playing tenor sax in middle school, played that all the way through high school, and at some point in high school, I bought a bass because I wanted to be able to like play the music that I was listening to at the time, because I was really into like Circa, all the post-hardcore acts that were coming around then that were like really blowing up. And I bought like this cheap, like $200 bass that I still have upstairs somewhere, and just started like messing around. And I like watched a bunch of videos and basically taught myself how to do that with the knowledge of like music that I was bringing on from like being in jazz band in high school and being in like a more, orchestral environment and more like school environment, and learning the theory. I remember like my high school jazz band teacher like sitting us down once a week and just like nonstop talking theory for like a whole hour. And like I wanted to pay attention. I was like, I need to like really take this in and understand what he's getting at, because he obviously knows something that we don't get right now. But yeah, incorporated that into bass. And then like I want to say it was my first or second year of college, I joined a band with a friend of ours, me and Justin. And Justin wasn't in it at first, but he ended up joining like a maybe 6-8 months later, and we played a bunch of shows. We toured around the Southeast coast, like back a few years ago now. And then as that kind of dissolved, you know, we talked. I joined Gloomchild, and yeah, here we are.
And like when I like, and sorry to cut you off, Tom. We'll get to you, Tommy boy. But you know, so when I hear Gloomchild, I feel like, or I don't feel like, I envision like a death metal. It has that kind of like death metal band vibe, but clearly totally opposite, folks. But sorry to interrupt you, Tom. Let's hear your
you're not
phenomenal
totally
story.
opposite. Yeah. No, I don't know. I feel like
You heard Crux, right?
that's not death metal, but I think we're definitely not. I don't want anyone to ever think we would never do anything death metal esque, because we definitely
listen to that stuff. We
Yeah.
have influences from that.
yeah.
I don't know if you do you know the band White Ward?
I am not familiar with it. No.
Dude, they're a Ukrainian like black metal band, and they have some jazz influence. They're about to like release one of their like, I don't know. Their older stuff is good, but what they're about to put out is their other single just came out, I think, today. But their first single is like 13 minutes long. It's insanely good. Like,
And what was the name of that? I'm going to look it up.
White Ward.
White Ward. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Fantastic band.
Yeah, we went to a death metal show last night, and Akula, super good. Like you know, up here in Orlando, so got to see them.
Yeah.
You know, they're touring. You know, so super cool.
I know Born of Osiris is coming to Tampa soon. I love Born of Osiris, so
Shout out Lee.
Yeah.
All right, Tommy, your turn. Tell us about your phenomenal story.
All right. So I picked up the guitar because my sister originally wanted a guitar, and then she played with it for a while, and then I think once she realized she had to cut her nails, she's like, nah. And so I'm like, all right, well, I guess it's my turn. And then I don't remember how old I was. I was probably like 6 or 7 at this time. Maybe, yeah, probably like 7. And then I remember I couldn't figure out how to make the notes come out. Like I didn't understand that you had to like press your finger hard, because I didn't have any like dexterity. So I like just within 10 minutes, I'm like, fuck this, I quit. Maybe not exactly in that quote. I don't think that's what I said, but something along those lines is a 7-year-old appropriate statement. And so I had my, yeah, I had this, I went and cooled off a little bit, and then I came out and I heard my dad on the phone with his friend, and he's like, yeah, this kid thinks he's going to be a rock star overnight. And that was like the first time where I was like, God damn it, I know he's right.
Damn, that's pretty mean.
It was like a self-actualization moment. And then I think what really got me into it was I had a couple of friends that I was going to daycare with in like 4th grade at the time. They turned me on to Green Day and System of a Down. And this was like right when American Idiot came out, and I think like Mesmerize and Hypnotize in that era.
Oh man.
So like,
I forgot to say, I got American Idiot for my birthday in 5th grade, so that sounds about right.
There's a lot
Such
of
a good album. I mean, I don't listen to Green Day a lot anymore, but like it's still timeless. It's so good. Anyways, so then I remember I did that for probably like a year, and then I started like playing guitar. Like I took some lessons, just like I guess nothing too special yet. I was just kind of fucking around. And then I was sitting in my grandma's house on her computer scrolling through the AOL sessions before YouTube was a thing. And I ran into
I got the soundbite ready.
I love that. Yeah, every time you do that on the other interviews, I crack up. I love that.
I love it. And so that's where I discovered Slipknot, because that's where I found the I stumbled across the Volume 3 sessions where they did like 3-0 and Duality and The Blister Exists, and I was just I was infatuated by them, specifically Mick Thompson. Like he immediately caught my attention. He's always been one of my favorite guitar players. And so for years, probably until like 7th or 8th grade, I was really just Slipknot, like Metallica, mostly Slipknot, and like sort of like adjacent bands. I had a buddy who got me into like Suicide Silence and stuff like that, but I wasn't super into that yet. I was still very much like just a maggot at that time. And then I took a really hard left turn and I started getting into like Never Shout Never and like the MySpace core. Like okay, so yesterday we were talking about music we didn't want to admit that we listened to, and I'm about to like.
Were they in your top 8?
I think they were, yeah. I still actively revisit Never Shout Never. I still like them a lot.
I liked it a little bit too.
It's so good. And then there
Never
was like
shout that you'll never listen to them again.
No, I'm going to. I'm gonna listen to this tonight. Just for you, Cody. I'm gonna come to your house and blast it out my little debut.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So yeah, then I got there, and then so my sister also, like, at this point, like, I didn't really have like a sense of identity yet, so I was just copying everything my sister did, and she joined band, and so I joined band too, and I wanted to play drums originally, but my parents were like, no, they're too loud. So I'm like, all right, let me think of the next most annoying instrument I can think of. So I picked up the trumpet, and so I played that for 8 years. And then I did marching band in high school. Didn't really play guitar much. I mean, I fucked around on it, but I was definitely like a marching band guy. And my senior year, I switched over to snare drum, which was super fun. And then I went to USF and marched quads. And that's where Sherry and I met because
I wanted
to
go back and mention that. Yeah, Tom and I played drums together in drumline, and
that was the most wild
that was
fucking
quite
year.
the experience.
It was so crazy. That was okay. So Sherry and I, a quick segue from music, but like the moment Sherry and I went from like casual acquaintances to best friend, I had one of the most traumatic experiences of my life on one of those days where during that time. And Sherry, like, I don't think we had more than like a casual conversation. Maybe you came to my dorm once or twice, but like, you were so there for me. And like, from that moment, like, I just knew it was like I didn't like, we were going to be friends forever. And then we started making music together, and I'm like, I don't want to do this with anybody else. So like, Sherry, from like when we met each other in college, I remember in like 2015, I showed up to, she was fucking around in the College of Music, and I brought my acoustic guitar. I was like, let's figure out how to mix a guitar and a marimba together. And like, it didn't work.
So funny.
I mean, we could make it work now probably, but like at the time, I don't think we could. And then
it was fun though.
It was really fun. And then somewhere in there, one of my friends turned me on to Chan, and that absolutely changed my life. Like, it was a complete, like, I literally felt my whole body change. Like, that was like, I think with Chan, it's like, I don't know what it is. It's like a drug. Either you are addicted to it the first time, or you're just like, meh, and then you move on. Like, there's no in between. Like, so I got like, I was like instantly, and I listened to that album Grow, I think multiple times a day for all of 2015 and 2016. And I got really into Polyphia and Intervals and Pliny and like Steven Taranto and like Rick Graham and all those like super crazy shredders. And yeah, there was a moment where I think so actually there's a specific day where Sherry and I, we were at the show together. It was Polyphia, Covet, and God, I don't remember. Jason Richardson.
It was Polyphia, Covet, Jason Richardson.
I love Jason Richardson.
It was at Crowbar in like February in 2017. It was like turning point show for us as musicians.
Somehow that day, I don't know what happened, but Sherry and I managed to have conversations with Yvette Young and David Adamiak from COVID, and that was like and then like I got to like, I was really up close because it was Crowbar and Polyphia wasn't like popping super hard yet, and like, so I was right up there just like screaming in Clay Gober's face the whole time, and we ended up talking after the show, and like I kept just like coming to Polyphia shows, and like we kept saying hi to each other and stuff, and it was just like there was a moment where it's like, all right, this is the sign that we have to take this balls to the wall. Like, there's no reason
we were just like, we're doing this.
Yeah, it's like, this is it. And then like just kind of wheeling dealing. We were in this other band called Flight Panda for a while. It was kind of like a math rocky alternative type thing, but it just didn't work out. I think we had a lot of learning to do as far as like band dynamic and work ethic and all that kind of stuff. So,
we learned a lot.
Yeah, we learned a lot through that time. And then afterwards, I think I started a solo project. I was conspiring with Justin, and just like we've been just grinding ever since, and now we're here, and it all kind of feels very surreal that it's all coming full circle in a meaningful way.
Well, I have a joke from the beginning of the
Right.
story, but it got kind of somber, and there's a lot of meaning, towards the end. But at the beginning, what I got was you stole your sister's guitar, and you weren't the brightest crayon in the box.
Hell fucking yeah. I'm still not the brightest crayon in the box, dude. That hasn't changed, dude. Like if I did not have the instrument in my hand, you would not believe I'm a functioning human being. Just straight up. That's just
I'm messing with you. I'm just
Oh,
messing with
I'm
you.
not. I'm
I, had to
being
take
true.
I had to take the opportunity for that joke. So
I like that. I'm glad you did.
But yes, so I was trombone Donnie in middle school till I got kicked out of band.
Hell
So
yeah.
Trombone is
There
the
you
hardest
go.
brass
Do you
instrument.
still have one?
Crazy hard.
it's at my mom's and probably locked up in, not locked up, but probably in the
Let's
attic or in
go.
the closet or something, because I was never good at it and I got kicked out anyway. So
If you're coming tomorrow, bring it. I'll bring my trumpet. We'll jam. Fuck the
Yeah.
guitar. I'll learn
you,
how to
you don't want me to bring my trombone. That would not end very well. Everyone would like leave. They'll be like,
No,
"No,
we're
Tyler,
starting
you really
You
suck."
gotta see it to believe it.
So yeah, we're about ready to wrap up, folks. We are an hour in. So this band is Gloomchild. You can
Wow.
find them at Gloomchild. Hour went by. It's amazing how fast time goes when you're having fun.
That's what
So
I'm saying,
any
like-
final departing words from Gloomchild to the fans out there?
I guess I'll start. I think we probably all have a lot of stuff to say, but thank you so much for listening to the new single, and it means a lot to us. And we're working really hard to try to make sure we have this album rollout be really epic and have awesome music videos and awesome merch. And we're on, we're right there. We're about to launch the new album, so be on the lookout for that, and you're really gonna like it. I think it's definitely a huge departure, I think, from our older stuff in a really good way. It's got all that stuff that I guess we kind of had before, but it's just 10 times it's 10 times faster and heavier. I feel like, and it's just juicier. You know what I mean?
It's mad juicy. It's like
Yeah.
It's super juicy.
Thick.
Like a
Yeah.
pilot.
They call it thick.
Yeah, it's
Juicy.
Definitely thick.
yeah. And yeah, we're gonna be putting out a lot of new music for the rest of the year, and for we have a lot of music. I'll say that, and we're trying to put it all out as soon as possible. So
And folks, if you're in the Tampa area, you can check them out 4 to 7 tomorrow at what market?
The market on Florida.
yeah.
Market on Florida.
Market on Florida in Tampa. So you can catch Gloomchild live. And it's been a pleasure having you guys on the show. I look forward to seeing what you guys do in the future. Keep submitting to the brackets. And this is how I end the show, folks. It is okay not to be okay. So if you ever have any, let me take the banner off real quick. So it is okay not to be okay. If you ever need to, reach out to somebody. Suicide hotline is 1-800-273-8255 or text GO to 741-741. Reach out to a friend, family, whoever you need to. And always remember, again, it is okay not to be okay. And remember, I hope we pleasured your ear holes. Hope we made your ear holes moist tonight. And again, keep it sloppy until the next episode, and we'll see you soon.
Hey, we love y'all.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.